Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you're a busy professional in hotel and travel, well, you know how tough it is keeping up with distribution. So today, we're cutting through some of that noise. Our mission, give you a really concentrated look at the 5 critical stories curated by the experts at White Sky Hospitality.
That's right. And when you look across these sources, you really see this dynamic clash emerging. On one hand, you've got this explosive market growth, but it's kind of running headfirst into a massive trust deficit around AI. And at the same time, we're seeing significant regulatory pressure building. Plus, that persistent, really expensive problem of payment complexity, it's still just eroding margins everywhere.
Okay, let's unpack that. Starting with the growth side, Asia Pacific, it seems like the place to watch right now. Vietnam's projected to hit, 25 million visitors in 2025? That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
And Japan just keeps breaking arrival records month after month.
Yeah, it's impressive growth. But what's really fascinating is the behavioral shift alongside it. Travelers seem to be moving past just, inspirational marketing fluff. Content now really have to provide actual utility. Think detailed itineraries, proper budget breakdowns, things people can use. And here's that clash. 95% of APAC travelers say they're excited about AI, but trust. Only a shocking 8% fully trust it.
Wait, hang on, just 8%. That trust gap seems like the real story there, maybe more than the growth itself. And I guess that skepticism doesn't magically disappear when we look at business travel.
Not at all. It actually gets a bit worse. Research shows only 10% of corporate travel buyers really trust AI-generated recommendations for bookings.
Okay, so if they don't trust it for recommendations, what do they want AI to do?
Right, good question.
Yeah.
They seem to want assistance, not full autonomy. The top requests are about 25% for automated admin tasks and around 23% for help with real-time disruption solutions like flight changes or cancellations.
Okay, so admin tasks, like policy checks, rebookings, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And when people ask for automated admin, they're implicitly talking about agentic AI, the kind that acts autonomously within set rules. That's different from generative AI, which is more about personalization, creating content. The takeaway, managers really need to boost their own AI literacy to, bridge this understanding gap effectively.
And if literacy is one hurdle, the tech itself needs to meet people halfway, right? Make it easier. Which seems to be the idea behind this new thing from Apaleo, Hospitality's first Model Context Protocol server, or MCP.
Yes, and what MCP tackles is, it's critical. Before this, think about it. If you wanted an AI agent to update a booking or maybe handle a complex request, needed custom development just to talk to each backend system, your PMS, your CRM, payment gateways, everything.
Right, that sounds like a huge integration headache. Slows everything down.
Absolutely throttled adoption. So MCP acts like a standardized sort of universal language. It gives AI agents a consistent way to connect and interact with all these different platforms.
Yeah. Standardization sounds good on paper, but lots of standards get proposed. What makes this MCP potentially different? Why might it stick?
I think its strength is how fundamental it is. It's not just another layer. It changes the basic relationship between AI and the hotel tech stack. Mike Rawson, the CIO over at Citizen M, summed it up pretty well. He called MCP the great AI democratizer, specifically because it can accelerate innovation right down to the frontline staff, not just for big IT projects.
Interesting. Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's look at the external pressures you mentioned, regulation and these endemic costs. Reuters is reporting Google's likely facing its first fine under the EU's Digital Markets Act, allegedly for favoring its own services, like Google Flights and hotels, over competitors.
That's the allegation, yeah. And the stakes are enormous. We're talking potential fines up to 10% of their global annual sales. But this regulatory heat is happening while the industry is still drowning in these layers and layers of fees that just inflate prices.
Right, let's break some of that down. Airlines still pay legacy GDS fees, the old middleman systems. Those can be $3 to $15 per segment, right? And now airlines are adding their own surcharges, maybe $10 to $25 on those old GDS bookings to push everyone towards their new distribution capability, NDC, more cost again.
Exactly. And for hoteliers, the payment complexity costs are just staggering. You've got the obvious OTA commissions. Expedia can take 15, even up to 30%. Cross-border transaction fees add another, say, 3 to 4% easily. But the real, just pure waste, it's in the labor. Small hotels are spending maybe $15,000 to $30,000 a year just manually reconciling all these fragmented payments from different channels. That's pure margin loss. It's practically a salary for someone doing manual grunt work.
Wow. So tying it all together, then, we've got tech breakthroughs like MCP promising democratization and faster innovation, but it's happening against this backdrop of, well, major regulatory crackdowns and these incredibly wasteful, fragmented costs.
It's definitely a tension, a real push and pull between opportunity and deep-seated inefficiency.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with maybe this final thought to chew on. If AI is truly democratized by things like MCP, could these new automated tools finally be the thing that standardizes payments? Could they eliminate that 15, 20, $30,000 annual cost of manual reconciliation, especially for smaller businesses? That feels like something worth exploring next time. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.